Rocking and rolling in hour number 3 of the Early Line on a Monday morning live. It's Sonny Right Side. It's Ben Stevens bringing you all the topics you need to be in the know, which includes the College Baseball World Series is on deck for us here. Now, Ben, let me bring into this conversation to explain to the people how the process works. Because if you just think they show up in the World Series because they're a top 5 team, that's not the way it is. Explain to the people the process of how you have to go again qualifying for the College World Series.
Listen, much like we see in the men's or women's NCAA basketball tournament, not a field of 68, but the field of 64, which starts, as it did this past weekend, with the regional round. There are the top 16 national seeds that host the regional at their home ballpark, where within each regional, teams are seeded 1 through 4. Of course, the 1 seed is the team that is one of the top in the 16 nationally that is hosting the regional. And then 2 through 4, either at-large bids that were on the bubble or those lesser conference champions that make things up. For instance, we saw some chaos already. Arkansas, the number 5 national seed in Fayetteville, bounced. They're not even going to get to the Super Regional. Arizona, who was hosting in Tucson, eliminated before even the regional final. But it is double elimination in each regional, meaning if you want to knock off a team, you might have to do so twice. There are some teams that can sweep a regional and advance already to the super regional round, which is this upcoming weekend. That's just a best of 3 series at the super regional site. The higher national seed gets to host that. DRS, 5 spots remain in the super regional round, and we have 4 Game 7s today. Virtually what that means, it's winner take all. Both teams have a single loss, and both teams are 1 win away from a berth in the Super Regional. I will make a small caveat. UC Irvine and Oregon State up in the Corvallis Regional, where the Beavers are hosting. The Anteaters right now have to finish their game that could force a winner-take-all Game 7. The Beavs up 6-4 at the moment in the bottom of the 4th. The Anteaters, the home team, remaining there. UC Irvine would have to come back and win that game to force a winner-take-all Game 7 against Oregon State later today.
I'll tell you what, it's always interesting, too, because we have a couple interesting games. Once you get to the College Baseball World Series, I believe the Major League Baseball draft also takes place around that time. So guys are in the World Series and getting drafted at the same time, which is absolutely incredible. Let's take a look at the College World Series odds if these teams do land in Omaha and who are the chances are the favorites. That's obviously Tennessee at a plus 300 price, Texas A&M plus 350, Kentucky plus 850, Clemson 13-1, and so on here. So it looks like we do have some parity here with 2 big guns at the top of that list, Tennessee and Texas A&M here, Ben.
So those are 2 of the teams that so far have reached the Super Regional round, 16 spots in the Super Regional. Again, it is a best of 3 series between just 2 teams to figure out who will earn one of those spots in the Omaha 8. That is for the Men's College World Series, which starts in 2 weeks down the line. Tennessee is the top overall national seed at 3-1. A&M outlasted Texas on Saturday night, their rivals, and then Louisiana yesterday as the Aggies swept the College Station Regional to get into the Super Regional round. Kentucky did the same in Lexington. A&M will take on Oregon, who is not hosting in Eugene and yet swept the regional round in Santa Barbara over UCSB. The Gauchos were the regional hosts and thus the national seed in that list. DRS elsewhere, as things stand, entering the 4 Game 7s that we have today. Again, potentially a 5th if UC Irvine can come back and knock off Oregon State. Some really interesting national seeds. ECU lost its opener in its own Greenville Regional. They take on Evansville today. They outlasted Evansville and the Aces big time yesterday, a hefty favorite. Oklahoma State hosting the Stillwater Regional. They get Florida. Your guy, Jack Caglione, one of the best home run hitters in Major League Baseball, one of 2 players in NCAA Division I baseball history to hit back-to-back 30 home run seasons of what she has done. once again. And the game of the day, of course, is in Chapel Hill. It's North Carolina and LSU, two of the biggest brands in this sport. UNC, the national seed, hosting, but LSU, the reigning national champs. What a game that is going to be. It's a virtual pick'em. The Heels right now a minus 120 favorite. LSU, the home team, and yet not the national seed, minus 106. That is going to be a battle down there on the Tar Heel State today.
The men on the horizon here trying to get to the World Series. The women, yeah, they're already there. And also, you take a look at some of those top seeds. Number 1, number 2, number 4, and number 8. Oklahoma versus Texas. You also, Oklahoma versus Florida. Stanford versus Texas here. Now, the one team that does stand out is Texas is the number 1 team. But anytime we think about women's softball, particularly the past couple of years, Ben, it's always been Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's always been Oklahoma. And that's where the Sooners are right now. Noon Eastern, first pitch in Oklahoma City at the Women's College World Series. The Sooners, 1 win away, and they're nearly a $3 moneyline favorite at this moment, minus 280 in a matchup against Florida from getting back to the WCWS final. On the other side of the bracket, we have a game between Texas and Stanford scheduled for 7 p.m. Eastern. If the Longhorns win, they advance to the WCWS final to take on Oklahoma. What a matchup that would be, DRS, between the Sooners and the Longhorns, conference foes and rivals. Now, their final time in the Big 12 before they enter the SEC. I bet Oklahoma and advised all of you, if you were watching and listening on Friday, to do the same when the Sooners were minus 190 to win their second consecutive national championship. And now the Sooners, 1 win away from getting to the best of 3 finals, are minus 250. OU is a wagon, and it does not look like it is stopping any time. Florida would have to knock off Oklahoma twice, not only win that first game scheduled for noon Eastern, DRS, but have to win the second one as well. A tall task against OU.
By the way, quick question here. In the men's College World Series, in those odds, who is your team that you believe that's going to win it all?
All right, so I think right now there is some value on a West Virginia team at 42-1. The Mountaineers into the regional, but they await the winner of North Carolina and LSU. WVU, not a national seed, so they would play that game more than likely in North Carolina if the Tar Heels are the team. More on the early line next.